In this section, I'm going to be going through a few different techniques that we can use to not only organize, but also create a more visually rich timeline inside of Premiere Pro. I'll start by showing one of the techniques that I regularly use when it comes to selecting my first round of selects. And this is part of a timeline-driven workflow that I've seen to be very popular with a number of different editors that I've worked with. From there, we'll move on and we'll take a look at how we can incorporate labels and colors and markers and even titles to create a very visually rich timeline. And we can use all of this visual information to improve our ability to not only reference all of the different content and themes across all of our timelines, but we can also use this to our advantage when we're collaborating or sharing projects with other editors. Let's take a look. Once you've laid out your clips into a timeline, what you can do is you can go through, and as you play and you work through your media to find the sections of the clips that you like or to find your selects, you can set an in and an out range by pressing the I and the O keys. At this point, you can hold down the Option key and use the up arrow key to nudge that selected portion of your clip up one track. This will create a track-based visual hierarchy where you can see the sections of your clips that are your favorites, but you can also maintain reference to the surrounding media. In order to continue to do this as you work down your timeline, you don't need to clear the in and the out points. Simply move down the timeline, set I to start a new endpoint, work through the clip, set an O to set an out point, and you can continue to nudge various portions of all of your clips up to the top track. Once we've gone through and we've chosen our selects, we can duplicate that timeline and we can delete all of the extra sections so that all we have is the select portions of our clips. What I often do is I use keyboard shortcuts to apply custom labels to my clips. You could think of this as using labels inside of Adobe Bridge. I use these labels in a similar way to note various things depending on the project. Oftentimes I use Mango to note my very favorite clips, but I also use green and blue, and these could be themes or these could be topics as I'm working through my media. I also use spanned markers when I need to group specifically related clips, and I'll often use a Premiere title to add another note. Think of it as a visual note that I'm adding on top of my media. I end up with a very rich timeline using all of these techniques and colors and visual cues to make this easy for me to cross-reference my timelines and also share it with other editors. Hopefully that gives you some useful ideas to incorporate into your own projects.